Hi, I'm Heather Griffin, VP of Marketing at Jack Morton and co-chair of Jack Morton's Sustainability Board. Today, we're focused on sustainability, not as a standalone initiative, but as something that's increasingly embedded into how we design, build, and deliver experiences that matter. I'm joined by Julien Le Bas, Senior Vice President, Executive Creative Director, and Global Head of Sustainability at Jack Morton. Let's dive into our work with HERE Technologies and how it has evolved over time and what it really takes to move sustainability from intention into action across real-world experiences. When you think about our partnership with HERE, how would you describe what we do together and where sustainability first entered the conversation?
Well, we've worked with HERE for over 10 years. We've done a lot of work around the world with them. The highlight is CES. CES is coming every year. We can repeat what we do, which is very handy. A few years ago, in 2020 and 19, we decided to build our pavilion more sustainably, not with a client. We actually decided to do that by ourselves, with our vendor and suppliers. We did it. We experimented a few things, and then we told the client, and they loved it. And they really thought was just the way to go. So we carried on this, passion and interest and kept building on it.
How has the way the design and build of HERE experiences evolved because of their sustainability priorities?
Well, it is really a process. We first started with the design, right? So we looked at system thinking. We designed our own system. We looked at material, just making sure that we don't create any waste when we actually design things and build them. So all of that started kind of slowly that way. And then at one stage, we realized that there's so much we can do with the design. We need to start digging into logistics. We need to start digging into all of the other elements, transportation, etc., that have an impact. There is the impact in carbon, the impact in waste, but we really wanted to lay out a path forward, basically, that would allow us to evolve every time.
How has sustainability become part of the creative thinking, not just the delivery for HERE projects?
Well, the client is really a driver here. So what we do is, we talk with them and we measure everything we do, right? They like to get the proof of what we do, and they really care about it, right? We do a proper report and then we discuss it, and then we try to find nuggets in this data to see how we can move forward. And once we isolate these nuggets, which of course in that case are relevant in terms of sustainability and impact, and we merge all of that together and create, in a way, a unified brief that brings together the priorities from a marketing perspective, obviously any changes from a show perspective, new location, etc., and our sustainability findings from the year before. And then we put this together, and then we actually use that as a unified element to drive creative, to drive design, and to drive how we deploy the project and how we, eventually make some changes at different levels.
Where has sustainability with HERE actually improved efficiencies or cost, not just reduced the impact?
A few years ago, HERE decided to move at CES from being outside on the parking lot to going inside, focusing basically all of their, technologies around automotive. So this was a big shift. Our client told us, well, we need to move in. We don't really know where, but we will have to reduce our, cost. We will have to reduce the space we have. And by the way, we've been doing so many cool things on sustainability front. We also want to reduce our impact, and we want to keep reducing cost and impact, which is usually not what you hear, right? So we worked hard on that, and of course, having the data really helped us isolate where the challenges are and how we could improve all of this.
Looking ahead, what's the most transformative change coming to sustainability in live experiences?
Well, there are really three things. You can split it over, three parts. The first one is the data. The data that we capture a lot of data, more and more, and we really want to use that data and see how we can mine it. By using new tools like AI, of course, like everyone, we're able to really go through large quantity of data year over year and isolate what is the most important, what has the biggest impact. The second one is simulation and automated calculation. The regular process is to imagine, design, build something, and then try to do it well, and then look at the impact of it at the end, right? By calculating this impact. What we're trying to do is, or what we see as a big evolution, are tools that allow to project and calculate all of this in real time. So you can actually make decisions during not only the design, but if you look at catering, if you look at transportation, anything that will really optimize basically the impact. And then finally, you can take all of this data and simulation and integrate this into a larger data stream, which is kind of bring us to the concept of digital twin, which of course is out there for a lot of different industries as well, but is more and more relevant for us. And the sustainability layer of it can bring a view into what we do that we have never really captured before.